Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about a degree that a lot of us think we know, but we're going to pull back the curtain and show you just how powerful and diverse its modern applications really are. You might be surprised.
Right, this is what pretty much everyone thinks. The second you say education degree, the image that pops into their head is a classroom. And hey, teaching is an absolutely critical, world-changing profession. But to think that's the only thing you can do with this degree, well, that misses the entire picture. The truth is, that way of thinking is like using an old, totally outdated map to navigate a new city. The landscape has completely shifted. In today's economy, an education degree actually gives you one of the most transferable modern skill sets you can get. It prepares you for roles that shape not just schools, but big corporations, cutting-edge technology, and even government policy. So what are these powerful skills? What are these modern superpowers you're actually learning? Because it's so much more than lesson plans and managing a classroom. It's about understanding the very architecture of how people learn, how they grow, and how they adapt. Okay, at its absolute core, education is the science of unlocking human potential. Simple as that. You learn how to design experiences that genuinely help people get new skills, change their behaviors, and actually hit their goals. Now think about it. What organization on earth doesn't need that? Every single one does, from a tiny tech startup to a global giant. And it goes way beyond just one person. You learn how to design, manage, and improve entire systems for learning. We're talking about everything from a single perfect lesson to a massive corporate training program, all the way up to a whole national curriculum. You're trained to see the entire learning ecosystem, not just one little piece of it. And this, right here, gets to one of the hottest skills in the job market today. When you boil it down, education is change management. You are literally being trained to guide people through change, whether it's a new piece of software, a new company process, or a completely new idea. You learn how to take people from what they know now to what they need to know next. So you stack all these skills up: people development, systems thinking, change management, not to mention advanced communication and research, and you start to see the real story. This is not just a teacher's toolkit. No way. This is the blueprint for a super versatile problem solver, someone who's ready for any industry that relies on smart, capable people. All right, so let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Let's start with our first major career path, building the system. These are the roles that shape the world of education itself, but they're often far away from the front of a classroom. These are the architects, the project managers, the people who make sure the whole infrastructure of learning actually works. You know, what's really fascinating here is just how directly these university courses map to these high-level careers. This isn't just theory for theory's sake. That course on quantitative methods, that's the exact training you need for a job designing national exams. That class on policy planning, that's your launch pad to go work in a ministry of education. It's a straight line. Okay, so that was career path 1. Now for something completely different. Let's explore how these exact same skills are in crazy high demand in the wider corporate and tech worlds. This is where the true versatility of an education degree really starts to shine. Let's talk about one of the fastest growing jobs out there, instructional designer. Ever wonder who creates those slick employee training programs at companies like Google? Or who designs the online courses you see on platforms like Coursera? That's an instructional designer. They're the architects who blend the psychology of learning with user experience and good old-fashioned pedagogy. An education degree can even be your on-ramp to becoming an entrepreneur. I'm serious. You're literally trained to spot learning gaps in the market and then design a solution for them. That whole field is called Learning Experience Design, or LXD. It's the perfect foundation for building a company in the booming edtech world and, who knows, maybe creating the next Duolingo or Khan Academy. And look, the list just goes on and on. The applications are massive. You could go into corporate training or HR. You could become an educational content creator on YouTube or for a podcast. You could literally be a specialist building immersive learning worlds in virtual reality. The skills even transfer directly to data analysis and international development work. It's that broad. So, okay, with all of these amazing possibilities, what's your actual edge? In a competitive world, why would a tech company or a big NGO hire you, an education grad, over somebody else? What makes you stand out? It all comes down to this unique combination. You bring the quantitative skills. You know how to analyze data, manage a budget, and measure results. You understand policy and how big systems work. You've got the leadership and communication skills to manage people. But the secret ingredient is that all of that is built on a deep, human-centered focus. You know how people actually learn and grow. That blend is rare, and it's incredibly valuable.
So here's the real takeaway. An education degree isn't about preparing you for a single job anymore. It's a passport. It gives you the skills to help build the future of learning, wherever that learning is happening. In a school, in a virtual world, in a corporate boardroom, or in your very own startup. The only question left is, which part will you build?